Sorry. There we go. Hello, everyone. Guess Press Rocks decided to try to put everyone to sleep right away. How's everyone doing? Hope everything's going well. Getting back to working on Awoken. Left off last week with having a character moving around. So there we go. Bang. A bit floaty of a character, and I can control myself too much in air, but we can work on that some other time. Today I want to work on some other systems, and I'm thinking of working on like a power generating electricity system. So that's my thought right now. First, I'm probably going to hop into Blender to make a model so I can at least know what I'm working with. But I'll just start with making it interactables. Debug. Power Pro debug power node. Do I want to call it node? I'll just call it debug power for now. Whoops. There we go. Let's see here. Just there it is. There we go. So now, how do I start? What do I want this to look like? Just Shift A, there we go. Mesh cube. Scale Y, nope, Z, there we go. Scale, not Z. There we go. Actually, make this into a cylinder. LZ, GZ, LZ. There we go. Oh, give me 1 second, I got a phone call. Sorry about that. I got a phone call at work. From work, I guess I should say, my day job. Okay, back to it. Oh, I guess I could have used that screen. Oh well. Hey, Diginagans, how's it going? I hope everything's going well. Assigned to get a start working on some systems other than player controller, you know. Player controller definitely needs some work, but planning on working on the electrical system stuff first here. So at least that's the idea today. We'll see how it goes. I'm just making a bit of a model so I can know what I'm looking at, not just have a box. Have something a little more interesting for stream rather than just a plain white box for the initial interactable. Although I guess I'm not going to do much with interaction at the moment, but we'll see. Starting to get a system set up at least. Let's see here. I kind of want to subdivide that. Not too bad, bit of an overworked work week because the project got pushed back and it's supposed to be off next week. I'm trying to make pack my PTO. Yep, completely get that. That was some weeks that are rough at work too. Hope you're not too overworked. Hope you're able to get everything you need to done. But hopefully I'll be able to use some PTO at some point. I got quite a bit I need to use up by the end of the year, but just haven't really had too much of a chance or even reason to, honestly. But we'll see how that goes. Let's see here. Do kind of want to make a bit of an animation on this too. So I'll give it a shot at least. Let me get it into Blender here so I can also see what see what I'm working on. It may not be in Node 3D in the future, but probably not going to be, but we'll just keep it as that for the moment. Models. Alright. Let me actually close Blender here. Create new. There we go. Rename. There we go. Right. I need to open. Well, no, I don't need to do it that way. I could just go over here. There we go. Open that back up. There we go. Probably should be saying more than just there we go a lot. Not super entertaining doing that, but okay. As long as I'm getting something done, right? What format is best for moving it, importing it into Godot? Here, I think if I remember right, GLTF, right? I'll go with that for the moment. Can always change it if needed. Let's see here. Probably past what I'm gonna need here. Collision. Yeah, right. Mesh instance 3D, right? Yeah, I think so. Can I just nope. No, maybe not. Is it OBJ? Wait, I could do OBJ. Is that a different one I need? For some reason I thought GLTF was the one that I've seen being used, but maybe not. Haven't done too much importing 3D files into Godot, so may not be tough today, just tired, locked in, trying to get work done. No worries. No worries, the shenanigans, completely understand. I wasn't even sure I wanted to stream today. It's been a weekend. But I've been streaming just about every Tuesday now is how it's been working out, so here I am. Hey Arneo, how's it going? Oh wow, digital Dave is already streaming today. Oh. Hey Arneo. How's it going, Arneo? Hope everything's going well. It is mesh instance 3D. Oh, it's because it's importing it like that? Really? Okay. I mean, I guess. I guess that works. We'll go with that for now while I figure things out. Reset. Decent day. Oh, that sounds good. Well, it was a decent day. I'm working on Awoken today. More work needs to be done on the player character, but I'm not worrying about that right now. I'm actually getting a start on like the electrical system stuff. So, you know, pieces that generate power, pieces that use power, getting that system set up. And right now, specifically, I'm just working on a model so that I can have something more interesting than on stream than just a plain box. So that's the idea, at least. I might even try having a bit of an animation on it too, if possible. So if I do that, go into here. I just want to make sure it didn't. Is it? No? Wait, what? Oh, right. I just saved it as a blend file. I didn't. Okay, that make. Duh. Okay, there we go. Now it should. There we go. That worked with. I was hoping it would. Once I realized that why it wasn't updating. Okay, is there a way here in Blender to have multiple different animations I can swap between? Maybe not. Or at least not right there. Maybe here in the actual animation pane. Yeah, we'll figure that out some other point. Do I want to do anything else to make this look better? This would be basically kind of what it looks like when it's on. I'm gonna add a modifier to this one so I can have a little bit of a cutout where it sits, or when it's on. Boolean. Duplicate this. There we go. There we go, so it'll sit nicely in there. Peace. Paste that out. Here. Okay. Linear animation. Is that what I need? I'm gonna have to make a couple animations here and test this. For some reason I'm doubtful this is gonna be what I'm wanting, but let's see here. So key this. Maybe. There we go. I'll key that. I'm not thinking. Let me look something up real quick, just so I can get an idea if there is. Oh, maybe that... Okay, that might be what I was looking for then. Sorry I'm being so quiet. I'm just, you know, I'm just kind of working through things here. Working on this. Finding myself just kind of zoning while I'm looking through different options here. Just one of those days. Okay, I want to keyframe that just as a test here. I'll go 10 here and keyframe that. Oh. Yep. There we go. Let's play that. Yep. Okay. Oh, yeah, right. You weren't. I don't think you were here, Nagans. Basically, the idea here. Let me pull up my very rough Obsidian file. I need to work on getting this a little bit better. But you, at the beginning of it's going to be a more survivally game, probably similar along lines of Subnautica. Yeah, I kind of come back to it being similar to Subnautica when I'm thinking about it. But maybe the start of it, you're waking up out of stasis with no memory of who you are or what happened while you're there, where you are. The ship would be in a very rough state and you have to repair it and figure out, as you're repairing it and everything, you figure out what's happened and what's going on, and have to figure out how to get back somewhere safe. Like I have here, the ship will be on emergency backup batteries, because that'll be a way to, like, one of the first things they have to deal with fixing will be the power and whatnot. So I'm probably not explaining it as well as I could, but yeah, survival game where you're waking up in a very rough, damaged spaceship and have no idea what's going on, and you figure that out as you're repairing things. A lot smaller of an idea than what I was working on before. Very much smaller. Oh right, I didn't export. Oh, that's not exporting is going to be annoying. There we go. So now there should be an animation in here. No. Here. Okay. There is no animation. Huh. Do I have animation here? I would like to have animations and make it look a little nicer on the stream. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's there. Actually, let's see here. Can I? Oh no, probably won't update if as I save them, if I make it local. There we go. Make local. But there we go. Why is that one visible? Oop, that was the wrong one. Because that thing should not be visible. Did include visible? There we go. Oh, oops. There we go. And this probably won't be yet. Okay, let me. There we go. And open anyway. And then, of course, it's not. Okay. Oh, right. I can just go here and apply. There we go. Then I can delete base cutout. There we go. That works, I think. Okay. And anyways. Yup. Okay. So I got that. Don't say. Now to test. Sorry, Arnie, I should have explained that better too. I'm just making a debug power node thing so that I can test producing power and consuming power and transmitting power all with one piece. And I'm just making this little, as you said, ice cream cup looking thing to have something more visually interesting for the stream. So just a cube. So I haven't actually gotten to coding any of the electrical system yet. I want something visual first, and I just kind of want to have animations so I can tell when it's on, when it's producing power, when it's consuming power, whatever it's doing. At least that's my thought. That's what I'm attempting to do, for lack of a better word. We'll see how that goes, but on a lot. Thank you, Arnio. I'm just hoping that I can get this figured out well enough. I probably shouldn't be spending this much time on it, but here we go. Here we are. I just want an easy way to have multiple different animations I can then have. Yeah. Be put between in Godot. I'm not sure that there's going to be any real easy way to do that here. Yeah, I probably shouldn't spend too much longer on this right now, and I can look stuff up off stream. Oh, is this it? What I'm looking for? Here, I need to go back to this and just delete. Maybe. Why can't I delete? Oh, come on. I just want to delete this now. And I don't know why it's not. Oh. There we go. Okay. What's on timeline? No, I wasn't on timeline. Right. I was on this thing. Let's see, on. Oh, there was already an on. Nope. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll wait and figure this out some other time. Let me just get this into something like that. There we go. What? Why is it? Did it not bake it in? Yeah, I baked in the modifier. Oh. Oh no, yeah, I did. There we go. Oh, well, that's gonna be annoying now. There we go. Why didn't it just update? That was weird. But of course I didn't model this next to the player, so this is probably going to be tiny compared to the player. Woo. Let's see here. Oh no, it's actually going to be huge next to the player. Well. There we go. Yeah, this thing's actually huge. But now I got this, got that, so okay. So I can do model. There we go. Now to actually get to work on this. This music's a little weird here. There we go. Yeah, take a drink here. 1 second. Okay, now to get to coding. How was I gonna do this? Here, make a node and components. I'm thinking of having a nested node here where I can put different component nodes. So like these ones will have a power node, and there might be like an air node. The power node would be what tells it that this item can either consume or generate or do whatever with power. There would be possibly an interactable, maybe like air or water versions. So like different systems that's how you would access them in the item or whatever you're needing. Like for example, the player will have a air component so that you can interact with air zones and whatnot, and can know whether he's in air or whether there's any oxygen or pressure or whatnot. All that good stuff. At least that's my thought. Sorry about that. This organization is going to be horrible, but I'll have to reorganize it at some point. But I just need to get something down for now. Power. Okay. I shouldn't need it to be a 3D scene. It can just be a node. Power. Yeah, power component. Then components, power. There we go. Alright, that's scene. And then power.gd, create. Class name. Okay, so air and power for now. Is there just so you have some system consume power? I imagine it's pretty different mechanics overall. There'll be different systems. I'm not worrying too much about air right now, but there'll be a bunch of different stuff that will use the power. For example, things that will then also interact with the air system. But they're separate systems, but of course you'll need power for just about everything, hence why I'm starting with power. Air will be a different time for making that. But what I was saying about air is just that here in this node I have a node for components, and under this node I'll put like this node, which will be how it interacts with the power system. So like saying it's consuming this much power, or whether it can reading whether it can take that much power, or all that various fun stuff. And then there'll be another node like this, which would be for air, whether something produces air and therefore pressure, or whether there's like a hole in the ship taking the air. And I'll have like different zones within using an area 3D. That will be the section set. Like a room will be a zone for the air, which would also have an air component to manage. I'm not explaining this well, I know. I'm sorry. I'll probably be able to explain it better some other time, and I don't know. I feel like I'm not explaining it well. But basically just whatever a piece needs, like this debug power thing, whatever it would need to interact with, it'll have a node here in components that will handle those interactions with that system. Like I'd call into this components power node, and then do the requesting and whatnot for whatever I need. I'm not sure if I'm going to need an auto load for this. I might. My initial thought was auto load, but I might not need one. I was just thinking about this earlier and trying to figure out whether I'd actually need an auto load or not. Why is this going way off screen? I apologize too much. Yeah, I do apologize a lot. But you think you got a rough idea? Okay, that's good. Gotta hopefully at least getting a rough idea along. Right. class name. Power component. Okay. I'm gonna close those. I had a plan for this, honest, but now it's just left my mind. Let's see here. I'm actually gonna have multiple of these just so I can do that. There we go. Let's see here. Modes. I want to have it'd be pro. Oh, come on. Production mode. Consuming mode. Production consuming. I also kind of want to have almost like breaker boxes that will get damaged if they're overloaded. That's something that will keep you having to repair it. So I might also want to transmission mode. I'll put that in there. It may be taken out eventually, but mode equals modes. There we go. So now I should be able to go into debug power and nope, right, because I don't have actually have the component in there. Let me bring the component in. There we go. Modes. So now I can select between those. Now, I don't need it to be something that's constantly checking, or at least I shouldn't. Yeah, okay. I want this to be able to mostly be done through the inspector when I have it set up, so anytime I need to add something, it's just a case of plopping in the component node, and then it can now need power or produce power or whatever. How have I already been on 45 minutes? Haven't gotten enough done for being on for 45 minutes. Oh well. Let's see here. Is it possible here? I'm gonna have to check. Hello, exports. Export variables. Is it possible to make export stuff only show up when certain values are put in certain exports? That probably didn't get the idea across, but I can add categories. Yeah, it's a method you use to validate them. You do that all the time. Okay, so that there is a way then. I just gotta find it here. Will it say here in this documentation spot, or am I in a completely wrong spot? Enums, arrays. Is it this export custom? You know, the C# way. It might not even be in this section. There's just certain things I'll only need visible if, you know, the mode is in production or in consuming or whatnot. I don't necessarily want visible all the time, so otherwise it can make this inspector a mess. And once I get this set up, I kind of want to just only have to go through the inspector as much as possible. That'll be my primary way for configuring the modes. Input in. Grouping. Oh yeah, that's just groups. Again, I could probably also just make little, make the boxes like this for each of the individual ones. That might actually be the easiest way. Fun get property this. So, okay, I'll take a look at it. Thank you, Digi. Oops. There we go. Get property list. Oh, this probably isn't gonna. No, this isn't gonna work. Let me. Yeah, this might just be making it more complicated than it needs to be, honestly, because there actually probably won't be too much. I didn't even think of these drop down boxes. I might actually just see about making drop down boxes for each of the modes, honestly. That might be the easiest way overall. Yeah. Thank you, Diginagans. I might actually just, for now, I don't know that my brain could try figuring that out right now either. I might just see about making these drop downs instead. I think that be category. Yeah. Oh man. I'll have to look into that in the future though, just to get an idea of how to use it. The validate probably is that. A validate property. Oh, let me move this up here. There we go. Nope, it wasn't that. Is it subcategory? Subgroup. Subgroup. A group. No, just group. There we go. Okay, that's how I'll do it. Is there a reason it keeps a node inspector on the left? Someone. No, it's probably not something most people do. It's just I wanted to try changing things up a little bit, and I kind of like having. There we go. Almost had spam bot. I kind of like having it right here because then I can easily drag and drop nodes. It's just everything I need to see on one side instead of bouncing between both sides of the screen. I don't know, I'm just trying it and I'm kind of liking it so far. So I saw someone doing it and figured I'd give it a shot. And then that way I also have just the scene tab right here, and then so it's just nodes right here, file system and import. So basically handling raw files down here, and then over here is everything to do with the nodes that are selected, inspector, signals, and groups. So I always see what node selected. I'm not switching between, you know, groups being with the nodes here where I'm not seeing everything. That's the basic idea. Gives you a list of all your properties, then you can check if the name is what you want. If so, set the usage flag to no editor. Okay, so that's how you get them to disappear. I imagine that would also be how you like gray them out, where you can't be selected but still visible and whatnot too. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had a knock on my door. But yeah, I imagine that's also how you would gray them out if you want them still visible but not actually do anything with them. I think this might just be the easiest way though. At some point I'll look more into that though, and I may even change it to be that, but I don't really need that right now. No, I don't think. So I do want the mode visible. I don't like consuming. Maybe I just use output, input, and through. We'll just go with that I guess we'll go with that for now. Output. It's like output, producing power, input, taking power and through, just not doing anything. Which might not even keep depending on how I make this. Group output. Whoop, I'm doing this wrong. For now, I'm not gonna have the through. We'll just complicate things right now, I think. Our input required int I don't know, I still don't like those names, but I'll go for it. Export var out. Put power required power limits production power yeah, well, I got some ideas on different things I can do, like various production based on how much power is available, but I'm thinking way too far ahead. I just need basic consumed and made right now, and then it can get more complicated later on, I think. So I would have more in here, more things to set. I'm planning on using groups. Network. How do I want to link them together? Right. I want. No. How do I link them together? I guess for now I'll just put them in a group to link them together. Okay. If I get the root node, will that be the root node of the scene, the inherited, like this scene, or would it be the scene that the inherited one is in? Get root? Oh wait, can I get root? Wait, I thought I could get root, the root node. Oh wait, no, I need scene tree, don't I? So it'll probably be the full. Probably. Wait, I can't even. Get tree. Yeah, this probably isn't going to be what I'm looking for. Nope. So I want to be able to get that. So I guess as components, it's always going to be right there. So I don't want to do get parent though. And for now, I just need to get something down. Parent. What do I want to name this? Base node equal node. It'll be node 3D most likely. Okay. And then I want to use groups. Base node dot set group. Base node group. Add to group. Power. Power network. We'll go with that. Just see remote. Oh, I can't see that part, but I actually can't see if they're in an. Shouldn't I be able to see if they're in a group or not? Maybe not. Feels a little weird that I don't, though. I'm still wondering if I might actually need an auto load to just be running for the system to work. That's the way I'm thinking. I'm mostly just rambling on here to myself while I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know. I felt like I had it somewhat straight in my head earlier, but now it's just all gone. I should really start just writing stuff down while I'm thinking about it. Other times in the day. Well, it's kind of hard to do that while I'm at work, I guess. Because, yeah, who would store, like, the autoload would be able to store within a given network what the production consuming is. Because there's, I don't need each power component to store the production and consumption of every other power component. That's where the autoload could manage. Like all these components could connect to the autoload and communicate through other autoloads through that. And then that would keep track of like what the individual networks, because there'll be probably be multiple networks, because I want to I kind of want to be able to have one section, like one box in a ship, like breaker box blow essentially into ship, and it would cut off power to parts of the ship but not to the whole ship. Like, you don't need the whole ship to be powered down if the lights in the bathroom blow, you know. But then there would be some areas where it would be more critical, but I could have one section be powered down but not other sections. So I'm going to need separate smaller networks that then have their own power consuming, power generating, which is why I was initially having throughput, because it could be the boxes, the breaker boxes. Yeah, exactly. Not everything will depend on what a fuse box. You just keep running Obsidian document. I basically have a page to just dump thoughts onto it and flesh them out and organize them better later. I should really start doing that. Though the fleshing out and organizing later part sometimes doesn't necessarily happen. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna need to organize them into separate networks, which I was thinking that I could do through the node groups. And then, you know, for the networks, they go through the loop through the node groups and do whatever they need to. But that's where I might need the auto load to manage that. And then just every power component talks to the auto load about what it can do and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, I might be back to needing an auto load. That's something I might have to actually write out more and figure out better. But hey, I got a model at least. I got something. Not a great one, but honestly, I think I might need to call it today. I don't think my brain's working well for this today. Might be back on later in the week though. I'll have to work on writing it down, better, fleshing out the idea a bit better. I've already, just within the stream, I was back and forth on whether I'll need auto load or not. But I hope all of you can have a good rest of your day. I will see about raiding Digital Iliad. I believe he's on. Let's see if I can get his name right here. Oh, let me double check, make sure I typed that out right. I can see myself not typing it out right. Oh, no worries, Ariel. So sorry I wasn't so. I was just kind of all over the place today. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to do a bit better next time. At least I've been, whether I've been intentionally or not, I've been streaming every Tuesday, so I figured I'd keep that streak going. I at least did some streaming. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this works. I have typed in command for rating. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but thank you all for joining. I guess I'll see you next time. Hope the rest of your day goes well. And nope, invalid username. Really? I seriously copied and pasted it. I'll figure this out one of these days. Let's see here. I'll try this again here. Raid. Trying to raid chips away. That's here. Ah, there we go. I got it this time. So, thank you all for joining. Have a good day.